I want to say something out loud that not many women say, but probably feel inside. I'm not in my dream life yet, but it's on its way. That's the key right there. And I'm not saying this to be ungrateful or because I regret anything. I'm just being honest. I've also come to realize that your dream life is allowed to change and transform and become something new because my dream life is not about mansions or sports cars or anything like that. Also, my dream life is definitely not what I thought my dream life would be in my 20s. It's different from what I thought my dream life would be in my 30s. So, me now in my 40s, my dream life looks completely different. And for me, my dream life is doing good work that is aligned, that I get to do with people and clients and organizations and businesses that bring me joy, working with women that are probably like you, who are ambitious and want a different way to live and work. My dream life looks like multiple six figures, seven figures, if that's what God has in store for me. I want to be able to have days where I can just dream as often as I want. And the thing is, I do that now to prepare myself for when that day comes because you also just can't wait, like put things off, like I'm going to do this when I get to my dream life. You have to start doing some of those things now. My dream life also looks like me having the best, most optimized health. Again, during my burnout, I gained 60 pounds. Of course, I lost that weight years ago, but in my 40s, I am in like the best health I have been in years. And I just want that to keep getting better. My dream life also looks like me traveling as often as I want and just having good people around me, family and friends. Like that's really what my dream life looks like for me today. Way different than it looked when I was in my 20s. But I think that when people take a big jump, for me, leaving a high paying six figure job, bonuses, all of the things, or whatever that may look like for you, whatever a brave, bold jump may look like for you. I feel like sometimes when people take those brave jumps, they automatically may think or feel or believe or have some unrealistic expectations of then taking this big leap out of this space and immediately jumping into whatever their dream space will be. And I just haven't, that hasn't been my experience. And I really don't think that's realistic. There is this middle point, this bridge point that you're going to be in, and that's okay. You can still use that time to learn, develop, grow, get really clear on what you want. If things pivot as you're trying things, have the space and the time to do that. It has been my experience for me that clarity comes from me acting. I don't get clear on things by just sitting in it. Of course, I do like to sometimes, make very thoughtful, intentional decisions and reflect on things. However, sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes you just have to take a step forward, see if that feels right, see if that's going in the right direction for you. And if not, then just take a pivot. And me building my business, and me finding people to help me with writing my book and bringing that to life, I had to take action for the clarity to come. I'm also seeing this middle space before you get to your dream life as like a rebuilding season. Again, because my I was just such such an overachiever, so focused. I don't know how I'm going to tell that exact story yet. Of course, I talk about it in my book, Release and Renew, but I'm not sure how I'm going to tell it on in this series yet. But just a really quick synopsis of like how much of an overachiever I was. I landed a 4-year college scholarship in 8th grade. And all I had to do, because my grades were so good, all I had to do was like keep a certain grade point level throughout high school, and that scholarship would be mine. And again, that's what happened. So I went to college. I immediately went into work. Like I just had everything so meticulously outlined. I got a career, climbed the ladder, got the thing, and then I wake up one day like who put me here? How did I get here? Because I was really just following the blueprint, the expectations, the guidelines of everyone around me instead of like really trying to figure out what I liked, what I desired, what type of work that I wanted to do. And I just found myself in my late 30s, burnt out, making a large salary, and very, very, very unhappy. So now that I'm in this middle point, I feel like it's okay to have that duality, to be proud of yourself for where you've come, the decisions that you've made, the leap that you've taken, and still be moving towards something better or your desires or your dream life. It's okay to hold that emotional tension that I know that can be there sometimes, but it's very important to acknowledge that because it's real life. If you're in your 30s or your 40s and you're not in your dream life, or 50s, 60s, whatever that may look like, because again, we have the ability to change our minds. We have the ability to pivot. If we're in a season that doesn't work for us, we're allowed to move from that. So wherever you may be on the journey, that's okay. It's about being proud of yourself for where you come, being aware that you desire something different, and then moving towards what you desire. Everything is a process. It will take time, but while you're moving and building towards that, you're developing, you're funding your dreams, like I did with my book and how I'm doing with my business. You're learning what you do and you don't want. You're rebuilding your relationship with ambition. You're really tapping into what capacity looks like for you. And you're making maybe slower, more intentional, and hopefully very honest decisions about the season that you're in and where you desire to go to next. Now, here's the thing, too. A lot of people sometimes have said, especially, if you're in your 30s, 40s, maybe even your 50s, oh, I thought I thought I would have been further by now, or I should have done this by now. I should have done that by now. Who said that? Like, who said that? I once had a trusted coach tell me this one time that I want to remember exactly how she said it. She said, and it always stuck with me, so I want to get it right. When when you say like I should have been there right now, those are uneducated. That's what uneducated expectations. Like, how do you know you should have built this business? This business should have been built and successful in a year. How do you know that you should have landed that dream job in 6 months? Like, who told you that? Like Portia said, who said that? Who said that? And my coach told me that those are uneducated expectations, because how do you know that? How have you been? I wrote it down. I wrote it down. Yeah, how do you know that it should have took 1 year to build this business and be successful? Did you do the research? Did you find someone else who had done it in that time? Are they, if you did it, are they in the same industry? How did you know that? Or is it just something, some belief that you came up with that has no data behind it? We have to be really careful with that. And I find myself in that space too, just because you may reach a certain age or a certain milestone to say, oh, I should have accomplished this by now, or I should have done that by now. That's a uneducated expectation. And the way that you fix that, or the way that you get around that, is seeking wise counsel, getting with a business owner that may have a business that you're trying to do, and ask them questions. Ask them for a coffee chat, or even if you have to pay, for an hour of their time, whatever that may look like, or getting with a mentor, a coach, a teacher, anybody that is doing what you desire to do, a possibility model. Possibility models are really the cheat code. And if you don't know what a possibility model is, I can do that. I can do a whole nother video on that. But it's getting around real people that you have access to, that is doing the things that you desire to do. So not like somebody like a Beyonce or Rihanna, like, because there's no way that we will have access to those people. But if you want to, I don't know, for example, build a coaching business, and you see someone maybe on the internet or in your city that is building or has built a business that you desire, getting in their mastermind, booking a coaching session with them, emailing them, following them on whatever social media platform you desire, getting in the atmosphere or the community of a person that is already doing what you would desire to do. I have been able to do that in several different capacities, and that's one of the cheat codes. And sometimes I've been able to get free access to them. Sometimes I've had to pay for access to them, and I've never regretted it. So finding a possibility model as well, to kind of negate some of those uneducated expectations when you start to go down that path of, oh, I should have been here by now, while you're still building your dream life, and while you're still in this messy middle. And it doesn't even have to be like messy, but just this middle point or this bridge point, and you're still building towards something else. So that's why I say I'm not in my dream life yet. And I really thought this conversation would resonate with women, especially the ambitious professional women that maybe in their 30, 40, 50s, even, that just want a different way to work and live. And they may have reached a certain level of success, and they are now questioning where they are, because it just doesn't feel aligned in their bodies, and doesn't feel aligned for how they want to work and live. I just wanted to share this video today to just say, like, I'm not in my dream life yet, but it's on its way, because I'm doing things that, like, another thing about my dream life is having slow mornings and beach walks. Like, I do that now. Like, I know slow mornings aren't a lot of people's cup of tea, or like the 5 a.m. club isn't everybody's cup of tea. Like, I get up, let me rephrase that. I wake up at 5 a.m., but it's not like I'm actively like working. I like to have quiet time. I like to do my daily devotionals, read the Bible. Like I get those things done around that 5 a.m. time before I even get out of bed. And I have my slow, quiet, intentional mornings. You don't know what that is out there. Sorry if you hear that. I don't know, it's like a work truck or something. And that's some of the things that I desire in this dream life, but I'm building it right now. I live in Florida, so I'm not far from the beach. So about 3 or 4 times a week, I go to the beach and I have a long walk. I'll listen to a meditation or a some type of Christian podcast like Sarah Jakes Roberts, and I just take a long walk, and that will be what I do as I'm walking. And then when I turn around and come back, like I'll use that time to brainstorm for my business. And then after my walk, I'll come in and start my work day. So try to also find ways to do the things that you desire for your dream life now, because you also have to be embodying the person that you want to become now. Maybe like a part of my dream life is taking, like traveling as often as I desire. Financially, I can't do that right now, but I find ways to just take local trips that still feed that appetite when I can. So those are ways like you can start to just do things that you desire to have in your dream life now. So when you get there, it'll already be the person that you're embodying. So before I go, I do want to I want to give you some questions to kind of start asking yourself when you're in this middle part, this bridge area that you're building toward your dream life. I want you to ask yourself, what does ambition look like for you now in this season of your life? Not the ambition that you thought of 5 years ago or when you were in your 20s or in your teens. What does ambition look like for you now? And then if it's not what you want it to look like, how do you want it to look differently? How do you want to build a new relationship with ambition? Also ask yourself, where am I still measuring success by old standards or somebody else's standards for myself? Because we have to really get into a place like we're the only people living these lives. You're the only person that lives your life. So, what does success really look like for you? It might not be you being a millionaire, and that's okay because that's not success for you, but just getting really clear on what that looks like for you. Also, ask yourself, what is this season teaching you about yourself? This middle bridge part. Again, for me, it was teaching me to really continue to sit in the redesigned way of ambition. And doing these videos daily has really brought up for me that yes, I'm a recovering perfectionist, but I'm not as recovered as I thought I would be. So doing these type of videos in this way is really allowing me to just loosen up a little bit and not have everything just so perfectly scripted and outlined, and still seeing that women resonate with me showing up in this way. So just ask yourself, what is this middle point or this bridge point teaching you about yourself as you build towards your dream life? And then how is this middle part either funding or learning, or what are you regaining for yourself during this time in this dream life? So if you're not in your dream life yet, you're not alone. I'm right here with you, but we are on our way. And I want you to drop down in the comments and two things. Let me know if this conversation resonated with you. And the second question is, what ways are you embodying your dream life now before you actually get there? Drop that in the comments for me. I'm Erica Prevail, and I share daily conversations for ambitious women, helping them rebuild their relationship with ambition, capacity, rest, and creativity. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.